Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Hunt Club podcast. Today we have a product briefing for our July platform enhancements. This is release 9.3 if you're following along with our releases. Today we have the two very awesome PMMs on my team, Nicole and Tiff. I want to say a little quick hello to the audience.
Hey
Hello,
everyone.
everybody.
It's been a long time since the three of us have done. I don't even actually think that this might be the first time the three of us have done a podcast
It
together.
has.
So
Yep.
yeah, it's gonna be fun. Yeah, today we have really some really awesome enhancements and feature releases for y'all to just, listen in and yeah, we'll just get started right away. So our first one, Nicole, I think this is yours. Can you tell us a little bit more about the Zscaler integration?
Yes, of course. So, for those familiar, or I should say not familiar, we are expanding our partnership with our integration with Zscaler to also include ZIA. So we are already integrated with ZPA, but now we have added ZIA as well. So we're essentially expanding visibility into the remote work environment. We're extending our Vectra AI coverage for the modern network, as what we like to call it, to our customers when they access the internet through this integration with ZIA. The premise of this is since the modern network has shifted outside of just on premises, this creates a lot of visibility gaps into the network traffic going out to the internet. So outside of internally hosted applications or workloads that attackers are taking advantage of. So with this integration specifically, we want to help solve for some big challenges for our customers. First, with there are more gaps, there's a lot of more C2 attacks, especially at the network edge. And traditional, network security has failed to close those gaps. So we're hoping to close that with this integration. We are also, helping to support zero trust by providing more enhanced visibility into the behavior and communication among devices and services in remote and distributed networks. So in short, again, this integration will help support a zero trust architecture, as well as provide end-to-end traffic visibility for both east, west, and north-south network traffic. And, just positions Vectra as kind of the AI NDR layer within a secure SASE SSE ecosystem.
Amazing. And there's a couple of a few resources there as well, right, Nicole? We got a press release because it's huge. It's huge for Vectra and for Zscaler users. We also have a podcast where you kind of dive a little bit deeper into the features and the capabilities of this integration and then an implementation guide, which is all gonna be linked in the description below. So
Yes.
check that out.
Perfect.
Amazing. All right. The next one we have is Vectra Match Integrated Ruleset Management. Nicole, can you chat a little bit more about this?
Yes, love to. So again, for those not familiar, Vectra Match makes it easier for, to detect known indicators of compromise or IOCs, coupled with Vectra NDR, our AI-driven platform, by utilizing Suricata signatures for even more native coverage. So coupling Suricata engine with our AI-driven detections that are already, native to our platform. So essentially with this enhancement, we're making it easier for our customers and for SOC teams to have a more built-in control center for their Suricata compatible signatures. So instead of having to jump between external tools or deal with more complex workflows, you can manage everything directly inside the platform. You can edit rules, enable or disable them, and those changes they stay even after, if you do a system update, for example, it'll still be there. So again, this just means more control in addition to our native coverage with, specifically for our signature-based detections that we offer our customers. You can push out indicators of compromise much faster, streamline the entire process of keeping signatures up to date. And, ultimately, we hope that it will create less friction, quicker response to new threats, and a much more efficient workflow for maintaining detection precision. So in 9.3, which is the release that we're all here talking about today, you can manage, modify, enable, or disable rules directly in the platform. And again, your changes persist even after, there's other updates or emerging threat updates.
Mhm. Yeah, sounds awesome. It's sort of like a ease of use update here, just to make things a little bit easier for the folks using our platform.
Yeah.
Amazing. And then we've got some enhanced network detections. I think it was just one, but this one's an interesting one. Nicole, can you talk more about this?
Yes. So we are enhancing our, jaw 4 enhancements. We do have, currently jaw 3 detections, etc., but we have now added jaw 4 and jaw 4S. So essentially, these are for encrypted traffic fingerprinting techniques. Think of them like digital fingerprints for your network traffic. So even though the content is encrypted, these techniques allow us to uniquely identify patterns in that traffic without decrypting it. So across our platform, we don't really use, decryption too much. There's challenges with that we can probably do a whole nother podcast on. So I'm not going to go into detail here, but I just want to emphasize that we do not decrypt any of that traffic. So basically, when we added the jaw 4 and jaw 4S metadata into our detection process, we can pinpoint attacker infrastructure inside the encrypted traffic. It's like tagging suspicious vehicles on a busy highway, essentially, just for an analogy. But if you can't see inside, you still know, which ones to watch. So these fingerprints reduce false matches or false positives, improve our correlation between different sessions, and make it easier to see, the bigger picture of the entire attack. And, again, this boosts the power of our encrypted traffic analysis. It's especially valuable for uncovering, more covert communication channels or spotting threat actors who are trying to stay hidden as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think that that's like sort of a big key thing about Vectra is that we keep most traffic encrypted. There's a lot of situations out there where there's security vendors who need to decrypt so that they can get full visibility. But the cool thing about Vectra is that we get full visibility even with encrypted traffic because we want to protect our customers, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's really awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
we're going to switch gears just slightly onto Tiff, who has some new AWS detectors she wants to speak through. So, Tiff, can you walk us through these three new ones?
Yeah, of course, happy to. So here we have a new suite of AWS detections, and here the first two detections is mainly identifying when an attacker download and delete files in S3. So the first one here is when we identify when an attacker download and delete a file at scale, so in a batch format. And then the second one is when they sometimes do it a bit slower or they use automation to download and delete one at a time. Both of them represents critical activity that is associated with an impact stage of an attack or ransomware at sometimes. So these are very important to highlight for security team to help them reduce cloud risk in AWS. So the last one here, it's AWS suspicious encryption. Basically, we identify unauthorized and abnormal encryption within S3, especially when the attacker use KMS keys or client control keys in here as well, which also represent impact stage of the attack. And what we
Mhm.
do is that we want to help alert these early so that you can stop these activities and reduce your AWS cloud risk before any exfiltration or also these kind of impact happen in your environment.
Mhm. Mhm. Excuse me. And yeah, this is just to expand, not just, but this expands our AWS coverage quite a bit. So this is really
Yeah.
important. And I just wanted to note for folks listening there, the names of the detections are what they are going to be in our detections. Was it playbook guide? It was like just a massive text of detections, right? That's
Yeah, the
available
one
on our knowledge
pager.
base. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
in our knowledge base article. So if you guys want to dig into that, it's there as well. And it's also these are the names that show up on our platform as well. So just to let you know. Okay, we
Yes.
also have M365 and Azure detection enhancements, which are kind of I think there's four. So let's talk through each one of them.
Yeah, sure. So we've made some enhancement with our M365 and Azure detections. So first of all, for our M365, we have a set of detections that basically detect suspicious Power Automate activities. Basically alerts whenever there's potential exfiltration or C2 using Power Automate. And here, what we've improved is that we've improved the fidelity of the alert. We've reduced the false positive so that basically you can see the real urgent and real threats faster. So that's the first enhancement. And then for the second one, it's about Entra ID. So we have the Azure AD privilege operation anomaly alerts. Basically, these alerts when there's a privilege escalation in Entra ID. So what we've enhanced here is that we've sharpened the behavior that is considered anomalous. So we've improved the signal clarity again here. So you will be expecting less noise on here as well. And then the third one here is about risky exchange operation. It's basically whenever attacker is doing sensitive exchange admin operations that we think is suspicious, we will normally alert this. And here what we've enhanced is that we've enhanced the scope of behaviors under the consideration that for this alert, and we've removed potentially benign actions in exchange. For example, like setting automated response so that you can focus on the really risky behaviors here. So you will also be expecting less alert volume based on this enhancement. It's going to be around 30% less alerts here. And then the last one is around Azure Cloud. So attackers love disabling logins in Azure Cloud whenever they are in an environment and they want to remain hidden. Here this detection basically alerts whenever the attacker deletes these diagnostic log settings. And the enhancement we've made here is that we've broadened the coverage. So we now can also detect the deletion of diagnostic logging settings on VMs as well. So we've helped broaden the whole Azure cloud coverage, and we helped you monitor attacker behaviors on VM as well in this particular context.
Awesome, awesome. And all this seems like it's sort of fixating on the signal clarity aspect of our platform here, just to make things more, like you said, sharp, less noise, cleaner, more actionable. That's awesome. Next we have AI triage enhancements. AI triage is one of our really awesome AI assistants. So can we talk more about these enhancements here too?
Yeah, sure. So AI-triage is one of our AI agents. Basically, it helps automatically investigate benign incidents in your environment so that you can only focus on the truly urgent and real threats. So last month, we've enhanced AI-triage agent in our M365 and Entra ID detections. This month, we have made enhancement, especially on benign C2 and benign recon detections here. So you will be expecting to see the AI triage agent automatically resolve over 50% of the C2 activities and also 25% of the benign recon detections. So ultimately, it helps, again, further improving the signal clarity, reducing the alert fatigue, because we know SOC teams often face a lot of different alerts already. So this is one of our efforts to continue enhancing our signal so that you can really focus on genuine threats.
Yeah, absolutely. And not to do a random plug here, but there has recently been a report on where we analyzed millions of detections. We just, it's a little research brief that I personally did, and it speaks upon how there's, SOC teams are facing millions of alerts each day, but Vectra is able to really pinpoint it, triage it so that it becomes actionable, reduces alert fatigue, and there's actually numbers behind that. So if you guys want to check that out, that is something you should. Okay.
Link it in the description box. I think we reduced
will.
99.98%, right? Was it the
Yes. It was like less than 1% was actually like alerts that needed to be taken action on. So really awesome
There
stuff.
was a lot done already before we even surface an incident to you. We've heard from a lot of customers that this is really something that they truly value when
Absolutely.
they have so many different tools and overwhelmed with so many different alerts.
Exactly. I've heard the same as well. We also have another AI agent enhancement here too, AI prioritization. Tiff, can you talk through these enhancements here?
Yeah, sure. So AI prioritization is another AI agent that we have. We factor in a lot of different contexts to prioritize an incident, give you an urgency score, including how fast the attack is, the urgency score, the entity context, how important that entity is, for example. And here, what we've enhanced is that we've refined our threat scoring logic. So we've basically improved the difference between a high and critical threats. We've refined the prioritization based on evolving attacker behaviors, and ultimately, it's an effort to help security teams to highlight these critical issues faster and give them higher accuracy on the most urgent incidents, and then
Right.
prioritize entities.
Yeah, this is absolutely important because you want to know what is the most urgent threat. You want to see that at the very top. So that differentiation is going to be key here.
Yeah.
All right. Triage, best practices. What's this? What's going on with this, Tiff?
Yeah, sure. So, besides our AI triage agent, we also has ability to provide with customers to give them custom triage options as well. And there's a lot of benefits to doing it, since when security teams use the platform, they know their environment the best. They know which groups of entity has a special privilege or something. So it's really important to set up some of these custom triage filters so that you can make the scoring sharper and also make investigation faster. So what we've done here is that we've documented a lot of the triage best practices in our support site. So we will have different FAQ, best workflows, basically best practices that we've gathered from different customers and documented it down in this article. So you can use it as a structural guidance on how do you start adding some of these custom triage filters or rules in your platform as well, so that you can maximize the benefit of the Vectra AI platform.
Amazing. I think this is a really good representation of sort of Vectra's philosophy here, where it's like a smart technology, which is our AI, and then a combination of security expertise, which is, presented through these best practices. So that's the best way, in my opinion, to kind of like tackle what's going on in security now. And I think this is just a representation of that.
Yeah, totally.
Amazing.
And the organization's environment change all the time. So this is more like
Yeah,
evolving with the changing environment. And yeah, totally.
exactly. Okay. I think this
Cool.
is me
And then
now.
yeah, moving on to you then, Zoe. I know we've had attack graphs on our response UX, and now it is available on the quadrant UX as well. So tell us more about that.
I mean, it's pretty simple. If you haven't heard about our attack graph feature, it's one of our very popular, very, very useful very useful features. Tiff did a podcast about it, maybe like a month ago, specifically on Rux, but now it's on QUX, so our quadrant UX. For those customers who are just on our quadrant UX, you can now utilize this feature. And what this does, it's a map, it's a visualization of the threat that you're looking at. It helps with investigation, understanding the paths, escalating risks, and just for you to better understand how to contain it and get a quicker way to investigate. And what this does, it shows three views, the attack graph itself. So that's something like a network centric. You have different nodes branching off of a center. The attack flow, which is presented on the screen right there, which is a tree flow, and the attack timeline, where you can actually see when things actually happen in relation to timestamp. So this once again really helps with investigations, showing the breadth and the blast radius of a specific attack, and just to have that visualization of that. We have a bunch of content around our attack graphs, so please check that out. Check out our podcast, check out all the blogs that we have as well. So yeah, it's just an extension onto our quadrant UX.
Perfect. It's good to know. And it's always like visualizing the modern attack
Yeah,
in a graph.
exactly.
Awesome. So next one is about enhancement in the network traffic validation, also on Quadrant UX. So tell us more about that.
Yes, the network traffic validation is a dashboard on our platform. Now it's on Quadrant UX. It's been on Rux for a little bit. It's just a visualization tool for network traffic and just understanding the health of your network traffic, essentially, with like indicators like red, yellow, just to make it a little bit visual. And this really helps just to be able to be proactive in troubleshooting certain things that happen within the traffic. No, like nothing's ever perfect within a system. And being able to visually see that kind of helps you pinpoint exactly where you need to fix things. And this is our approach here on being proactive in our security rather than reactive, to make sure that things work before, we're reporting on it or we're like alerting on it. So yeah, just
Mhm.
simple thing. Yep.
Cool. And then I believe it's our last one here.
Yeah.
So what have we enhanced about VirusTotal removal?
VirusTotal removal. This is an integration on Quadrant UX, and essentially what's going on is that we're just deprecating that. It's just sort of like end of life here. So we're removing those lookups and the external destination UI references just because we have some licensing changes, but the full UI cleanup, so what you will actually see on Quadrant UX will be in the next release. So what this means for you is you kind of have to adjust some workflows if you previously relied on this or file your domain context, but we will provide alternative enrichment tools. And you can learn more about this in the knowledge base article, but essentially just want to give you a heads up that this is happening on the back end and you might have to adjust some of your workflows. But please reach out to Vectra if you have any issues with that, or reach out to your account manager as well. And we'll more than happy to support you on that. Okay. Cool. Okay, I think that's it for this time. It's a little bit long, but I think we have a really awesome, list of features here. So if you are, like you're just like semi-listening, you just want to read it later, just please visit our support portal with the link on the description there, or with the link on the video there, or in the link in the description. Check out our product release notes, and then you'll get a little bit more information. But yeah, essentially, that's it. Any last words from our team here?
Just thank you guys for listening. Feel free to comment on the podcast, ask questions there as well. More topic suggestions. If there's something you want us to dive deeper in, we're happy to hear it. And thank you, Zoey, for having us today.
Yeah. Thank you guys for joining. All right. We'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.